Welcome back, guys. Today's video is for the 94 to 98 12 valve Cummins, 97 12 valve Cummins. This is going to be our stage 3 extreme package. I tried really hard to keep these package deals around like 8 to 10 part numbers just so we don't get too carried away. It's just not possible when you're talking higher horsepower levels. I call it extreme power, not because it's like gonna win UCC or anything like that, which we will be at next month. I call it extreme because it's just way too much power for the street. So typically 550 horsepower is very, very usable, very clean horsepower. Anything over that, is kind of overkill. And this package is definitely overkill. This is for the guys that just want to go all out. You want to hook up to the sled and like actually maybe win the county fair sled pulls. You're probably never going to tow again with your truck at this point. I mean, you're totally able to. I put together a good package deal here for you guys that's safe, but your EGTs are going to be through the roof if you get into like just the right hill, just the right grade. There's the Continental Divide out on I-90 in Montana. It's like where a lot of this experience came from when I put these packages together. That's just a nasty hill. So if you're towing a load and you're coming up that hill, especially with an automatic where you don't have the option to like drop down a gear and kick RPMs up, this is extreme. It's too much power for daily driver work use. You could still daily drive this all day long, not a problem there. It's going to be perfectly safe for running around to and from work, playing with your buddies, racing up and down the interstate, whatever. Instead of a single turbo, we're going compounds in this package deal. I've used this kit from Industrial Injection for many, many years. I had it on 2 of my personal trucks, my 12 valve and my common rail. It's just a really nice compound turbo kit. Everything fits really nice. Fuel injectors, we're going on stage 4 DDP injectors on this package deal. 4,000 RPM governor springs instead of the 3,000 RPM governor springs that we have in our economy package and our workhorse package. Up the fast, this is going to be like a fast 160, 165 instead of 100. You have to do the fleece SureFlow sending unit with any of these package deals. You're going to have quarter tank issues if you don't. So sending unit, transmission. We're going to have to go all out on the transmission to hold this kind of power, and you're probably still at some point going to blow up these built transmissions that we recommend in these package deals. If you're beating on the truck every day, I've got one customer that we did this exact package deal for him. Younger guy, big into crotch rockets and speed, so he wanted his diesel truck to run as good as his bikes did, and we did the full Suncoast, and I think it lasted maybe 24 months and it was out, and then it lasted maybe 12 months and it was out. And so there just comes a point with every automatic transmission. If anybody tells you their transmission's bulletproof and it's going to hold 4,000 horsepower for the rest of its life, they're full of crap. And that's the reality here. This extreme package deal, you're going to be making north of 700 horsepower, maybe tickling 8. You guys do it how you want to do it, but as far as this package is set up, there's a lot of things you could adjust as far as like the AFC spring, the AFC housing, things like that in the pump that could be tuned. Realistically, I'd love to see a larger P pump for this package deal, but I know that's not in everybody's budget, and so I have to, like, when I'm putting these packages together, I have to be very realistic. For some people, putting a bigger P pump on, that's possible. Some guys, it's going to blow this package out of the budget. And so I left that out. If you want to do a bigger P pump on this, the Industrial Injection Dragon Flow series pump would do really well with this package deal. I'm going to recommend a camshaft. I originally didn't put it in this package when we put it together because that's a lot of labor, but I just don't see this stuff working without a high performance cam. You can do like a Colt Stage 2 or a Colt Stage 3. It's still a drop-in. I've done both and they work great. You can do that without pulling the motor. We use 1/2 inch pine dowels, push them down to the top of the tappets, pull the tappets up, zip tie them together, slide the camshaft out, slide the new camshaft in, pop your zip ties, drop your tappets back down. You should change your tappets whenever you're doing an upgraded camshaft. I didn't put those on here. You can get those from your local parts store. It's not something you need to get from us, and save you some shipping that way. Head studs are a must. You're not going to do this package deal without doing head studs. ARP, you can do the 625s, you can do the ARP 2000s, I don't care. I've made 1,000 horsepower on the ARP 2000s and held just fine. I do prefer dropping the head studs in one at a time on a really good sealed factory head gasket versus pulling the head off and the new gasket and all that. I just haven't had that hold up as well as the guys that we dropped in head studs one at a time for. You're going to want valve springs. You're going to want titanium keepers and retainers. So we've included that in the package deal because you put a big, huge camshaft in there, and not even big, huge, but a stage 2, stage 3, even at that, those factory valve springs aren't going to live. And we don't want valves kissing pistons either. So valve springs are a must. High flow exhaust manifold. I didn't put that on the other two package deals. Personally, I would do a high flow exhaust manifold on a stock truck. The factory manifold being a one piece. What we usually see is when we take the exhaust manifold off to do like a cylinder head gasket repair or a turbo repair, exhaust manifold comes off fine. When you go to put it back on, you get all the bolts in. At the end, you can't get the front two or the back two bolts, whichever direction you're going. You can't get the bolts in because the exhaust manifold has literally bowed or warped like a banana, and so you can't put it back on. Or worst case scenario, it's cracked because it's under so much tension. The 3-piece high flow exhaust manifolds are the way to go. I like the BD diesel one. I like the ATS one. I really like the Steed Speed 1-piece CNC machined exhaust manifolds. Once again, not in everybody's budget. I'm trying to keep these package deals affordable and realistic, so I'm trying to save you guys money every which way that I can. But there's just sometimes you can't skimp. So if the Steed Speed manifold is in your budget, go that route. If you want to save a couple $100, go with BD Diesel 3-piece. That's a great manifold. Last thing I really highly recommend doing is an upgraded intercooler. Increased cooling core, the size of the intercooler, the volume of air that we can stuff into an aftermarket intercooler is better. The stock intercooler does great with the stock turbo, but you start getting into compounds and big singles, and you need to upgrade the intercooler. It makes a huge difference. I did a ton of testing with BD Diesel back in the day on this, and the air coming out of a factory intercooler at like 650 horsepower is like 480 degrees on the cold side, what should be the cold side. Upgraded aftermarket intercoolers, we tested AFE, Spearco, BD Diesel, back in the day, Banks, all of them significantly lowered that cold side intake air temperature readout. BD was the best. They no longer offer intercoolers, which really sucks, but Mishimoto makes a great aftermarket intercooler, really nice fitment, good quality. AFE makes a really nice intercooler. They're not always in stock, sometimes hard to get. I've waited as much as 8 months to get an AFE intercooler, so if they can figure that out, we'll definitely give them a higher recommendation. But if you do decide to order an AFE intercooler and somebody's website says that it's in stock, make sure you call and confirm that intercooler is in stock, because I've been bitten by that before. Banks has pretty much always got products available in stock, so that's a great option. Great fitment. So if you want, Banks and Mishimoto are going to get my top recommendation as far as reviews go. Both great fitment, both great price points, both really high quality, and made in America, so that's awesome as well. But yeah, that's our stage 3 package. I wish I could trim some fat off this thing for you guys and make it less expensive. This is literally as inexpensive as I could get it. And I've still probably left a few things off that I would personally want to do. You're going to want some kind of gauges. There's a lot of different options out there. You just need to monitor exhaust gas temperatures. At this level, you're probably going to start wanting to monitor boost pressures. Definitely transmission temperature if you're in an automatic. But any more questions? If you got questions on this package deal or anything any other concerns or concerns with any of the parts that we've recommended here, if you've heard bad things or you're scared or you don't like one of the manufacturers we've picked, ask us in the comments. We'll be happy to answer those questions. At the end of the day, everybody has bad days. We're all humans. Anything electrical or mechanical is going to fail. So if you've heard bad reviews about one of these products that I'm recommending, ask us in the comments and I'll clear that up for you. I know these companies. I've worked with these companies for 20 years. We don't all do everything perfect. We don't always handle every customer service interaction the way that the customer thinks we should, and so we get bad reviews. Sometimes you're just dealing with stupid people, and that's going to get you a bad review. At the end of the day, these are all very good quality companies. They're all made in America here. Nothing that I'm going to recommend is going to be made overseas or in China. You're never going to get a recommendation for that on this channel. So hit us in the comments, like, subscribe, click on the little bell. We're constantly releasing new videos. We're going to work our way through all the Cummins trucks. We're going to start doing some of the Duramax trucks, and I'm working on the Power Strokes as well. So this is just super simple package deals, Ford, Chevy, and Dodge, to take all the guesswork out of it for you guys. So I know you can sit on the internet and read for hours, and there's tons of bad information out there. I've been in the diesel industry for 20 years. I've seen every bad outcome you can imagine. I've seen the good ones. All of our reviews are based off the good interactions I've had with customers over the years. So got questions, hit us up. We'll get them answered. And in the meantime, stay tuned for the next video.